Just for the sake of time, I don't want to take that up myself. So Fiifi Nunekpeku is an alternative doctor and owner of the Reflexology Center in Ghana with 20 years plus of work experience. Other disciplines include Reiki, colon, hydrotherapy, basic Mr. As Speaker, Fiifi Nunekpeku, some of the words here are not English words. They are more of, how do you call it, science words, but I'll do my best to mention them. So I take it again. Other disciplines include Reiki, colon hydrotherapy, basic myofascia and trigger point therapy. He is a consultant in the alternative health and manual therapy industry. He has a natural ability to teach, train, and empower others who wish to learn. He has a degree in marketing, speaks fluent French and English, and is developing his own method of integrated reflexology. Fellow Rotarians, retractors, and guests, I introduce to you Mr. Fiifi Nunekpeku, who is an alternative doctor. Mr. Fiifi, you're welcome.
President Andrew, it's been a pleasure to watch you proceed with the meeting. Thank you. Am I positioned well? And do you hear me clearly?
But your camera is showing the opposite direction. If you could turn it to yourself, we'll be most grateful. We could see.
Is it what?
We can rather see
okay
the tables and chairs, I think, instead of yourself. Okay.
Is it okay now?
It's
okay. Okay. Yeah. Sorry, I had to get around with this.
No
Good evening, fellow Rotarians. Well, I was a Rotarian, so as they say, once a Rotarian, always a Rotarian. It's my pleasure to be among you to offer my knowledge on reflexology as a vocation. And thank you, President Andrew, for giving me this opportunity. I'll start by defining what reflexology is. Once upon a time in Egypt, if you can see the little diagram that I have here, the Pharaoh's physician was pictured on the pyramid. You know, when they died, they create a pyramid for them. He was pictured holding the hands and also holding the feet. And the inscriptions through the hieroglyphics indicated that the recipient said, "Please don't hurt me." And the giver said, "I will do as you praise me." Along the lines, in the early 30s, 1930s, Eunice Ingham in America developed the zone therapy, which is now called the reflexology. If you can see the diagram here, all the body parts can be seen represented in this. If you take a look at the foot, every part of the body can be represented in the foot. And this is how reflexology was developed. Now, scientifically or biologically, we have about 200,000 nerve endings in each foot. So imagine 200,000 nerve endings in each foot. Every square inch of your finger applied to any part of that foot is going to send messages to the brain and back to the point where it was touched. So touch actually doesn't happen when somebody comes in touch with you. Touch happens when your brain tells you that somebody has touched you. And that transfer of knowledge, of information, if I touch you, it travels all the way back to your brain and back for you to feel the sensation. That is what creates the effective method of reflexology. So as I keep pressing and applying pressure specific on all the areas of your feet or your hands, the messages travel to your brain and back to your hands or your feet. And when that happens, you will notice that the body divided into several zones or into zones will have every part of the body, organs and glands touched by the message that is traveling to the brain and back to the feet. So if I touch anything here, it travels along this way, all the way to, say, the ear. when I touch the thumb, it travels along all the way to, say, the eye and back, the stomach, the lungs, the liver, and all the internal organs. The difference between reflexology and massage is that you would be working on the internal structures of the body. With massage, it's just the manipulation of the soft tissues of the body. What you see is what you work on. With reflexology, you're working on one part of the body that relates to every part of the body. So you're working on the feet that has every part of the body mapped and represented on the foot. So it becomes even more accurate and effective when you are treating certain condition. Now, reflexology is not used to treat a specific problems, like say you are diabetic, and then I go looking for where your pancreas can be found, and I work on the pancreas, and I'm expecting you to be better. Reflexology works in improving your own immune system to balance. Sorry, is there a question coming? Okay, sorry. I thought somebody was asking a question. So it helps to improve your own immune system to bring about balance. And in the state of homeostasis or balance, that is when your body tries to regulate everything that is not right. And it is in that process that you become. I was muted here. Okay. President Andrews? Am I on? Hello?
Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I just saw an unmute thing there. Okay, so the reflexology effect on the body is not really an inducive one. It is just to help your own immune system strengthen itself to regulate everything that is not right by bringing it to a balance or homeostasis so that you can have optimum health. Now, to the beginning of the therapy and what we now have. This has been developed by Hannah Marquardt. And if you look closely, you can see that she has made it a bit more scientific with all the structures of the body represented in the diagram. And this takes reflexology to a step higher, because at first it was just presumed to be a massage or a kind of manipulation on the foot or the hands. But now it has been improved to bring more meaning scientifically and to show that it can actually help to make the body stronger and healthier. Coffee time. Reflexology as a vocation is not something to be considered for dropouts or people who haven't, had a form of education. It's actually a strong vocation, or I would say a job opportunity to help others achieve the best of health and the best of life. There are many instances where people with very common ailments like backaches, headaches, or premenstrual conditions, pain, and unexplained fatigue, stress-related issues, get a big relief from the therapy. And it's actually been proven to be very effective alongside other therapies to even help women who have fertility issues get pregnant. And yes, I've had about 3 of them in my 20-year career who have received the positive result from reflexology. Am I still on?
Yeah, yes.
Hello, Andres, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you loud and clear.
Okay. It went off. Okay. So reflexology as a vocation can be effective for people who have a desire to help other people receive a strong sense of health and relief from many of the afflicted effects of stress-related conditions like headache, insomnia, as I already mentioned, the PMS, diarrhea, for instance, constipation, and unexplained pain. If you would want to be a reflexology, you really don't have to have a strong background of science or biology. Anybody who is willing can learn reflexology. But if you want to become the best, or if you want to advance to do treatments and other, other treatments that are considered to be clinical or medical, then you will have to learn more, read more about the human anatomy and physiology, and do a lot of applications of therapeutical reflexology. Thank you very much, Andrews. If there are any questions, I can take them now.
Thank you very much, Ruth. I know you as Ruth Fiifi, so
Again, Fiifi, yes.
It feels some way for me, but anyway, Mr. Fiifi, Mr. Nunekpeku, thank you very much for that presentation. Fellow Rotarians, retractors, and guests, this is the time for questions. If there are any, it will be good to voice them out now. Fellow Rotarians, kindly show by hand, and you'll be given the floor to speak. Fellow Rotarians, any questions, comments? Okay, so Mr. Nunekpeku, there's a question in the chat box. Any side effects? I guess prospective Rotarian doctors wants to know whether there's any side effect to reflexology. I think you might want to take that.
Okay, in practice, there is no side effect except certain conditions that may not be right for you to receive a reflexology or to give a reflexology. Something like DVT, if you have a deep vein thrombosis or any varicose veins, I would advise that you don't go for reflexology because the action on the foot, the treatment releases a lot of the blood stagnant in your feet to flow throughout your body. And so if there's any clots in the blood that could be found in the DVT or in the varicose veins, you do not get a reflexology. Pregnant women sometimes could be treated by clinical reflexologists, but within the first 3 months or the first term, as it's termed, we do not advise reflexology because people may be having difficulties getting pregnant. And so if you activate, the body's response to reflexology, it could cause a miscarriage in some people, not everybody, in some people. So the best is to avoid that. DVT is deep vein thrombosis. It's a condition that blood clot could be found in the lower veins of the feet. And so if you do reflexology, which is like a massage where you are improving the blood circulation, you could release that blood clot to flow through the circulation system. And when that gets to your heart, it can block an artery, and that could cause death or a heart attack or something.
Wow, that's interesting. There are a lot of questions for you, Return Fiifi.
Okay.
But whilst we pick up the questions in the chat box, there's a hand raised. Let's take the hand first. Then from there, we'll come to the questions in the chat box. So, prospective Rotarian Kobina, you have the floor to speak, please.
Thank you, Rotarian President. Fiifi, bonsoir.
Yes. Bonsoir.
I wanted to find out what type of coffee are you drinking, and is that also reflexology?
No, this is Kawamoka I'm drinking. It's not related to reflexology at all. It's just to keep my throat smooth and and moist, so I don't have the dryness from the longer speaking period.
Ah, d'accord.
Merci.
D'accord.
Okay, prospective Rotarian, thank you for that question. So there's about triple barreled question from prospective Rotarian Dorcas of Accra North Kaneshi. And the first question is, does it cure all diseases? Second question, what is DVT? I believe you've explained that. The
yes,
third
I have
question from prospective Rotarian Dorcas is, should a doctor approve first before you have a reflexology? So I guess there are two questions here. Does it cure all diseases, and should you receive a doctor's approval before you receive a reflexology?
Okay. Okay, so I can combine the two by starting with this. This is the nephew, the book of the nephew of the mother of reflexology. Eunice Ingham brought about reflexology. Her nephew, Dwight Byers, wrote this book. In 1893, it could cure most of the conditions that we are aware of. But you know, the human race has been depleting its state in health over the years. What our fathers used to be at 40, 60, 50, we start complaining at 25, 30. And so it becomes very difficult for certain useful treatment of before to be applicable to the new changes that we are all going through these days. And so, no, it does not treat all sicknesses or illnesses. And now we do not even have to claim that it can help you, improve your state of health, especially if it's a specific condition. We can just tell you that it can help your immune system boost its stuff and bring your body apart with balance, in all the elements, so that you could have an improved state of health. Some doctors now have understood the benefits of alternative medicine, or what you call the complementary health therapies. And so, yes, they prescribe reflexology to certain conditions or certain people. For instance, the three different women that I helped with fertility were all referred by doctors who knew that with the state of the confusion and stress of the women, they needed something to help them relax and bring down all their hyperactive hormones and everything to an equilibrium. And so it makes it effective for the IVF or any other method that they may be using. So sometimes, yes, doctors will refer some patients to us. And vice versa. When we also treat people and we can't really find a solution, we let them go and see a doctor. For instance, if I'm doing reflexology on your foot and I see you have an ingrown nail, I would say go see the doctor to make sure that there's no defect or any infection or something before you come back to me, or go and see a pedicurist to remove the ingrown nail. So it's vice versa. Doctors refers, and we also refer back to doctors. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Nunekpeku. There's a second question from Nunekpeku. Forgive me.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
So there's a second question from Reggie. I don't know if she's a Rotarian or a guest, but she says, are you regulated by a body to practice?
Yes, we are. We are regulated by the Traditional Medicine Practice Council. It used to be TMPC, but now it is TAMPC because they've included recently alternative. So it's Traditional and Alternative Practice Medicine Council.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's a question from Jonathan Ajete. I don't know if he's a Rotarian or a guest. And he says, after a long walk playing golf, I feel pains under my foot. Also, sometimes when I get off bed in the morning, I feel pain. Can it be solved by reflexology?
Yes, it can be solved with it can be solved with reflexology, but we will also be advising you on certain tricks to do to help the pain. Sometimes it's the pounding effect of walking. If you keep walking and the type of shoes you're wearing, for instance, and if you have grown lean on the muscle tension in your feet, if you have flat foot, some people don't have the arc, from if you check from the big toe all the way down to the heel, the natural arc is not present. So if you have which is called the plantar fasciitis, I have to check the right term. If your foot is so flat, then you're going to be having a lot of problem. What we recommend quickly is to use the tennis ball and then roll your foot on it, not too hard, but just gently every evening before you fall asleep. And when you get up from bed, don't quickly jump off running. Sometimes you need to take it easy. Let your feet rest on the floor for a while. Let the circulation regain its natural flow before you can take off. And we are aging. Sometimes, like I mentioned earlier, what we feel at 40 was what our fathers were feeling at 60 or 65. Most of us, our dad were dying at 85 or maybe 95. Today, we are not even sure if you're going to reach 50 or cross 60. And so we have to also be careful on the stuff we indulge ourselves in, insomnia, eating bad and getting too stressed, sometimes overworking and all of those. So excessive drinking, for instance, can also be affecting all of this stuff. So it's a whole approach to see what exactly it is and not specific reflexology to solve a specific problem. It has to be holistic approach. Thank you.
Awesome. There's a next question. There's another question for you. I'm not sure why today the questions are coming in the form of time messages. I'm sure some of our Rotarians are still enjoying the new year and are still not back to work. AG Mumuni says, what's the average cost of treatment, please? He wants to know the average cost of treatment. AG Mumuni.
Okay, for Babi, there are various level to it. For between 250 to 300, but you can get reflexology at 150 cedis, at 100 Ghana cedis per session from other people. What you may not get is the experience that I have and the exposure. For instance, I've been going around West Africa training other people, so it makes it more expensive for me to be treating someone for an hour or 45 minutes than someone who is stationary or has begun learning the last 2 or 3 years. I'm not saying this to pump myself up and say I'm the ogre, but of course, if you go and see a surgeon who has many years of experience, you pay a little more than someone who just started, because you know that apart from getting the best of service, he has a wealth of experience that you know very well that session is worth every penny, no, every pesewa that you pay. And we know, you can't pay the day, so pay and come for a session.
Another question from, I'm not sure who the name is, but the device is Huawei Y9 Prime. And fellow Rotarians would encourage you to rename your devices as we indicated at the beginning of, so we're able to acknowledge you when the time is due. So the question is, what is your take of people who walk barefooted in sand or chippings with a mind of improving health condition?
Excellent. I mean, that is like, apart from having to feel connected to Mother Earth, it's only the French. I just returned, so the French and the English are all in my health. So apart from having a connection with Mother Earth, you are using the contour of the foot. You know, the foot is not a flat thing, so you use all the contour to grab. Your toes are all actively looking for the sensations are there, and the stones are also working on all the points under your feet. However, reflexology is not only on the sole of the foot. There's a side of the foot and also the top of the foot. So even though you can have benefits from walking, having a session from a professional also helps to improve the general expectation of working on your feet. Wow. So it is very good. I recommend a lot of walking on the foot barefoot if you can. If you can't, you have socks on because you don't want your feet to be dirty. Also very good because the socks, it's like a second skin on your feet, so you still have the grip, except that your toes are not free to separate themselves. They're all kept together. Okay.
Thank you very much, Mr. Nunekpeku. This question you just answered was from George. Okay. From George. Reggie also asked, are you guys regulated as a professional body? And I believe you've answered that already.
Yes, but
body, you did mention that.
Yes.
I think it's been a great Okay, please, you have the
Yeah, okay, there's a special council set by the Ministry of Health, which is called the Traditional Medicine Practice Council. It is now TAMPC. It is Traditional and Alternative Medicine Practice Council.
Okay, thank you
Yeah.
very, very much. It's been an indeed exciting time with you. We invite
Same here.
Lieutenant John Davis to show appreciation to you. Ordinarily, we wouldn't have if you were Rotarian. Forgive me, there's a final question here. I'll take just this last one. And how does reflexology help cure fibroids since women fall prey to this?
We can't cure fibroid. We can't cure diabetes. We can't cure any disease. All we can do is to help your body boost its immune system to fight the presence of the illness. So let's say you have fibroid and it's causing you a lot of pain, especially during your menstruation or after your menstruations or childbirth or regular activity. You can have reflexology, which will concentrate on the region where your where your womb or your cervix is, and then it will be improving the amount of pain that you will be having. That's all we can do, but we cannot cure or reverse anything that has happened. For instance, people dying of cancer could have less pain dealing with the cancer effect on their body when they have reflexology. It does not reverse the cancer, but it helps you to deal with the presence of the cancer. It's like the sun is shining, you want to go out and use an umbrella. Still shining, but you are covered with the umbrella. That's what it is with reflexology. I hope I have answered the question.
Certainly you have, I believe. Thank you very much, Mr. Nunekpeku. Would invite Returning Secretary John to appreciate you on our behalf. I'm not sure he can hear. Return John Davis, can you read me? Okay, would hand over the floor to Return Ellie. If you can hear me, kindly appreciate the speaker on our behalf. Return Dorothy, are you on call?
Well, can I say something finally?
Yes.
Sure,
okay.
you can before the appreciation comes, please. So Return Dorothy,
okay, I could see some questions still coming through the chat. Yes, I want to be available after the along the week or anytime you have the opportunity. You can look me up on all social media and send me your questions and query. I'll be very happy to answer them all for you. What's a Rotarian? Always a Rotarian.
Just to
Thank
confirm,
you very much.
can you confirm your social media handles, please?
It's the same name, Fiifi Nunekpeku, on all social media.
Very well, very well. Okay, Return President Omni Dorothy, kindly appreciate that speaker on behalf of the club. Dorothy.
All right, thank you, Return President. We want to thank our guest speaker, Mr. Fiifi Nunekpeku, for this insightful talk you've given to us. You've shared a great deal of knowledge, and for some of us, we might want to look you up and have some reflexology sessions with you. Like you rightly said, Sekampididi, and we like the best, so we'll look you up. Now, for all that you've shared with us, I would like to ask you, is it the truth?
Yes, it's the truth.
Is it fair to all concerned?
Very fair, according to my best of knowledge, to all concerned.
All right. Will it build goodwill and better friendships?
Yes, if the Sika will come plenty, yes, it will build.
And will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Yes, it will be beneficial to all concerned. The best benefit is that I do more training this time than active one-on-one sessions, but definitely to be beneficial to all.
That's great. Good to hear. All right. So on behalf of Rotary Club of Accra East, I present to you the certificates of appreciation for a brilliant speech you've given us, or a brilliant talk. Yeah. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.